very quickly, I'm going to go over the user interface in our project management system. There's an overview which gives you all the list of the projects and what you can go do with it. You can go look at it in Gantt, grid, so on. I'll talk about that in a moment. You can create a template, you can delete it, all that stuff. You can create a brand new project either through a wizard, which I'll show you in a moment, or through an existing template, which you can select from. And once you have a project, you can do a variety of things. You can go look at it in different ways. But to create the project itself, there is a standard AI wizard. You can give it a bunch, you can give it a description. We have some sample descriptions, right? Let's say you choose that, and you give some options, who report to me, so on, and you hit next. I'm not going to wait for it because it'll take 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute to do that. But this is what it generates. It generates pretty much all the tasks that are needed for the project, assignments if you're given them that, what skills it needs, what risks it could have, what tools it will need, materials, compliance, and so on. All of that created in a minute or two. You can go save that as a new project and go forward. Or you can use a template, both of those. Once you've created a project, you have a bunch of views to look at it. There's a grid view, which is like a spreadsheet. There is a Gantt view, where you can look at all of these things, look at them as a weekly, monthly view. Now we're going to monthly. You can go look at it as cards, which is the Kanban structure that we're all used to. And then finally, you can look at a calendar. Same data presented differently. All of those things scroll through dates and so on. Apart from views, the project views themselves, you can do resource management. Resource management by discipline and by role. We maintain skills, disciplines, roles, and role levels for everybody, including admin units and departments and so on. So you can set up a fairly comprehensive profile of the people who report to you. Here are the people who report to me, and I can go assign tasks that I have not been assigned to someone. Let's say I want to go assign that to Mandrake. I go do that and drop it there, and it'll go back and say, okay, I've been assigned. This makes sense. Now, there are situations where that particular task may need a discipline or a role that doesn't exist on Mandrake, and it'll come back and give me a warning saying, do you really want to do this? I can choose to assign or not. It gives you some basic loading capability, some loading indicator that several-native is somewhat 75% or more loaded against this in a month of 170 hours. Here, much less, right? Those kinds of things. You can also look at resources from a capacity management perspective. Here are all the disciplines, or here are all the roles on the projects that I have access to. And people have been assigned. Bruce has been assigned, and he's over-assigned here, under-assigned here. On this, I have somebody assigned, but they probably are not the right role. Those kinds of things. That's why it's still in red, right? So you can make a lot of assessments on how your planning goes going forward. Apart from that, skill assignment, of course. There's a skill assignment scheme, nice little way to do it. And there is a simple project hub for people that don't need to use grid control or Gantt and so on. You want a simple mechanism. Here's a simple mechanism to run your team. These are all the tasks that have been assigned. My list, the overall to-do list for the team, which is here. This is my list. I can look at it as a schedule. I can click through and go for it. Go look at a calendar. I can look at Kanban. I can actually chat with people. I can also very quickly log time. Right? I can click there and right there and log time. I can go out and select teams that I belong to. I can select projects that I want to work on if I've been assigned all of these projects. All of these capabilities exist overall in a project management system that starts from a wizard-like structure or a template all the way to execution and delivery. Thanks.